Schneidman, Mr. McMahon, Gavin Fritz, Beatrice Richardson, Javon Dennison, NY, Miss White, Miss Nisbet Richards in the US as well. My mom, Diana L, Diana H, Rusty, we miss you. Burl, good morning. Livingstone from Montserrat, good morning. Chef Mishi Colin, good morning. Angela, KM, good morning. Mr. Coffee, good morning. Shine Millins, good morning. Trent Jowley, Eric Duport, Annette Frank, Roberto Chapman, Lyndon Williams, Miss Margaret, that's Troy Mommy, Mr. and Mrs. Isaac, good morning. Fidel Boxer, Edith Bradley, Ewing Hubbard, Miss Henry, and all of our regular callers, Africa, everyone, good morning, good morning. Quint, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, and you?
Trying to be better than yesterday. Did you do your research as promised?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do?
I do not understand what these people speak about, but I know we are not in the Caribbean. We have ties to the Caribbean, but we're not in the Caribbean. We are in South America.
Yes, we know that, but you are part of the Caribbean.
By culture? By
Yes,
cultural affiliation?
culture and part of the when we say Caribbean, Guyana is part of it. I'm going to play you a clip, right? Because I did a clip, but in the meantime, I have a bit of a conversation, and yeah, but
Trust me.
see if I can find that clip in the meantime.
No. Guyana is not other.
Someone called me. Someone called me yesterday after while we were doing voices, and said, "Yeah, you were right." And I said, "Well, I wasn't sure if I was right, and as long as I'm not sure, I don't argue facetious with any
Google says a
real
lot of
depth."
things, but Guyana is not in the Caribbean. I tell you, it's not
The
in the
fact
Caribbean.
the fact that you keep sticking to that. You had me stumped yesterday, because
No, but I should not. No, and that wasn't the point or the idea or anything. But Guyana is in South America.
we know that, but it is part of the Caribbean.
So is Venezuela part of the Caribbean?
No, it has something to do with colonialism, I think. Right? Yeah.
And we're right next to Venezuela. They're trying to steal our oil. Yeah.
Barbados is part of the Caribbean.
Yeah, of course.
Trinidad and Tobago and all of them are part of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but Trinidad's closer to Venezuela. Oh.
Yeah.
But we can work with that. I'll give you Trinidad, up to Trinidad being part of the Caribbean, right? But I can't give you GT. Culturally connected.
Okay, listen to this.
the listeners are saying they.
Okay. Yeah. Let me apologize for the. I see that I was seeing one channel reading over there. Anyway, I'm going to have to get that sorted out.
Yeah, because the listeners were saying they couldn't hear. That's why it was because they're all saying we can't hear.
Yeah.
It's too low in the
Well,
sound.
we'll have to play that another time. Another time. We were hearing it perfectly in here, but
Yeah.
I see the levels over on that side were. Yeah. Guyana is a founding member of CARICOM, and CARICOM represents Caribbean countries.
Not only,
So,
no.
yes.
See, not only Caribbean countries. Who is not in the Caribbean that's in CARICOM? You have some countries in Latin America that it represents as well.
When I do my research, I make sure I get something that brings it clearly, gives you different points, different
Do I need to pull up
aspects,
the map now?
and so
Do
forth.
I need to pull up the map to show you how far we are from
You
Barbados
heard
and
the man
Trinidad?
say it does not pertain to geographical location. It
That's why I
pertains
said
to
cultural.
three things: culture,
CARICOM.
history, and politics. Those three factors. So,
So, anyways, I'm not even gonna argue because
don't be stubborn.
I'm not.
When
I'm just saying it's in South.
We know that. Anyway, we're not going to keep going around and around.
I know we're just not gonna do that, but I'm not trying to abdicate from the Caribbean folks, but all I'm saying is, yeah, as Quinn said, we're not gonna bother with that one.
Yeah,
So,
so,
yeah.
but you did have me stumped yesterday. Yesterday I was like, what? And that's why I kept saying, like, I'm sure that I'm right, but I think that I'm right, but I'm not too sure. But I don't usually get stumped like that, but I really wasn't sure yesterday. But I'm sure today.
Oh, I'm
Hello,
sticking to
caller.
it.
Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Yes.
Quince, Hortensia mic is a little low.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Not as good. You kind of low, Hortensia.
Okay, let me see which mic she is. Go ahead, Cortensia, say something.
You can hear me now, caller?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
fuck, let me see if I can hear you. I'm absolutely surprised that you would. No, you're
She
still
says speak.
very
She
low.
says speak so
She
that.
said I'm
She's
still low.
still very low, Quinn.
Oh
Yeah.
well, it's reading good over here. So
Oh boy, sorry
Maybe-
about that.
okay,
Because we
there's-
had a nice little clip for
Yeah.
a nice little debate, and most of the listeners couldn't hear it this morning. So are you hearing me any better now? Because I'm right in front of the mic, talking with all my might.
yeah, the levels
Say
look good
something,
here.
Hortensia.
Hi,
The levels look good here. Yeah.
can you hear me?
For some reason, Hortensia not coming through so good.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't know.
I'll listen and call back. If she go back down, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that.
Tell you, we have some people out there who are very, very particular,
I
and
love it.
they're on our case.
I like that because they let us know what's happening.
But I did see the levels when I was playing that clip. I only saw one channel reading over there on that thing, and it means that someone was tampering last evening, and I hate when that happens. Anyway, let me see if I can go to another caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning to everybody. Greetings once more in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners from the sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say we need to become a republic and get out the British Commonwealth as quickly as possible. The quicker the better. Secondly, I'm hearing Catencia very, very good. Very, very well. She's coming out good.
All right,
And
thank you for that, Greg.
Yeah?
No, I was saying thank you for that.
Yes, you're coming over to me. Let me say at least to me.
Okay.
Yes, yes. We couldn't hear the audio that was being played.
Yeah.
No, well, we could have barely heard. Barely.
Yeah.
Let me use the word barely.
Yeah, that is something. I saw it when I saw I didn't realize until Cortensia alerted me to the fact, and then I realized when I looked at the meters, they were reading only one channel, so I'm going to have to get that sorted out. Okay, go ahead otherwise. Go ahead. Seems as if though he has...
part of the Caribbean. I wonder, especially Bermuda. But yeah, if the ABC Islands and Bermuda, if they are part of the Caribbean, that is what I have been wondering. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Okay. Yeah. Where are we?
He was wondering. I think they count them as part, Greg. I really think they count the ABC Islands as part of the Caribbean. Although I'm still going to stick to my point.
Yeah.
Not going to fight Clint. But I think they're a part of the Caribbean. Because Curacao, they're going to say they're a part of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Quint. I'm Catencia.
Morning, Jam Down. How are
Good
you?
day.
We hearing Catencia fine down here. Maybe the internet going through up there, the fiber optic. Maybe you got a little, Yeah. Quint.
Yeah.
Quint.
Yes.
We were talking about Guyana yesterday. It's not in the Caribbean. Guyana is not in the Caribbean. But we Caribbean people hold Guyana as the Caribbean. It's a South American country.
Yeah, we know that.
You understand?
We're not debating.
Yeah.
You have a radio.
The old lady said she longing to hear your voice.
Oh, Lord. Tell her right there.
Yeah.
Well, Quint, one more question. Quint,
Yes.
we getting that thing rectified with the studio?
In terms of you hearing us clearly in the Boston area and so forth?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're hearing you, but it's still a little scratchy.
Yeah, that's because you're not hearing it from the main transmitter that we want you to hear it from.
I understand from one of the DJs that something gonna happen this week.
Yeah, so, well, just keep...
We need winnfm, eh?
Just keep your fingers crossed. We were supposed to go up there yesterday, but the rain, so there are different things that keep us back. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We need winnfm, It's one of the best stations around. It's 2020 and I rubbing,
Okay, jam down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're never disputing the geographical location of Guyana. We know where it is situated. And as the person, the narrator was saying, that is part of the confusion where people might, but it's not about proximity. It's about saying, well, okay, we are together. You understand? That is what it's about. Because he says the definition is what you make it to be. Yeah, so if I say, well, Cortensia and I are a corporation, we are a corporation because we signed off on it, okay? Yeah. So that is it.
Yeah. So, Greg, yes, they said the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao are definitely part of the Caribbean. They are located in the southern Caribbean Sea, specifically within the Leeward Antilles Islands chain. These islands are geographically, culturally, and historically linked to the wider Caribbean region.
Yeah.
And we had a story from yesterday that I wanted to touch. It's a bit disappointing and disheartening in a way. It has made its rounds on social media. And the story that I actually got is from the Antigua newsroom.
Yeah.
And it says, video, Leeward Islands under 19 cricketers caught on video fighting in St. Kitts.
Wow.
Yeah. The aggressor, I think, should get the punishment if they're going to send anybody's home, because it's obviously he has the upper hand and he still had to throw the last blow. He had the young man by his neck. Obviously, anybody that's holding you by your neck, you're going to fight to come out. I do not know what caused the fighting, because the article did not say. But it says, a video has surfaced showing two Leeward Islands under 19 cricketers, aged 18 and 19, involved in a physical altercation in St. Kitts. The reason behind the fight remains unclear, and attempts to reach Leeward Islands officials, including the board president Enoch Lewis, have gone unanswered. The incident comes as the team competes in the Cricket West Indies under 19 tournament, following a narrow 5-run loss to the Windward Islands on Thursday. There's a video of the fight and everything, so you can see what it is. And
you saw a video of the fight?
The video is right there.
And
you're on Facebook?
No, remember, I don't.
Oh, you don't do the social media? Okay, so I'll show you it afterwards.
I don't deal with Facebook. Years ago, I discontinued Facebook.
Okay, so I can't send it to you because you won't see it. It says, somebody says every one of them need to be disciplined.
That's what I was thinking.
The videographer too need to learn to be our brother's keeper. It's a sad situation. So sad. It's the same thing those children do in school. They fight on others' videotape. Put down the camera and encourage your brothers to be in peace.
Yeah.
These kids these days, boys will be boys, just a little tussle, but just a little tussle could have turned into something else. Somebody says, they go by the name Visionary, that's why our cricket isn't going anywhere. No discipline.
That is true.
Can't resolve problems in civil manner.
Yeah.
And they said, all for a few Facebook dollars, no sense whatsoever. They should all be disciplined for wasting taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Somebody else went on to say, you know what gets me? Fight breaks out, and the first thing we do is pick up our phones and record. The other guy runs upstairs. No one is trying to break up the fight, no intervention at all. I'm sorry. That they would be on a plane that same day. The entire team. You're fortunate enough to represent your country, and this is how you behave. The person said, Tarl, man.
Look, it might sound drastic, right, when the person said the entire team, but I'm of the feeling that you should do what you have to do. And in cases like this, there are clear messages that have to be sent. And if it means that you forfeit the entire team, I know they're not going to do it, but these are the reasons why, as the person said, our cricket isn't performing. If it means that you have to send home the entire team, you can't send a clearer message than this. Okay, so the next time, every one of them will know the sacrifices that was made to bring them to this point. You don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Because that is why I asked you if the video was available. Because as long as you can see it and you can see them fighting and the others around doing nothing, they all need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Hello, caller.
Good morning again.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go
Hi,
ahead.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think management supposed to put if it's local players, you suspend them. But once foreign players, you send them home right away. This is a gentleman game. This is a disciplined gentleman game. And we cannot get youngsters disrespecting West Indies cricket, so. Have a good morning again, Katencio.
All right, thank you,
That is why the team is losing like this. They're too big. And this big chain business performing got it done with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the young man, as I said, I feel.
And it says something about management too. It says something about management. When you have this kind of, and nobody does anything, it says that they are not taking management seriously. They're
Well,
not
we
taking
don't know what management has
everything.
done because remember this article is pretty short. Where
I'm
I stopped is
speaking of.
where it
I'm
dropped.
speaking about leading up to this. I'm
Oh,
not speaking
okay.
about.
Leading up to the fight.
Yes, I'm speaking
Okay.
about the way management has dealt with them for the years gone by coming up to this. I'm sure there may have been other squabbles, but we just weren't fortunate to see them. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay,
And
understood.
for instance, if there were other squabbles and management had dealt with it, you know, seriously, they wouldn't reach this point where they're.
Well, we have to
they're
hope
doing
that
it.
we have to hope that management knows about the other squabbles that there was, because
If management doesn't know, then management is lacking. You understand? Management supposed, it's like you're sending your children to a facility, a place, and there are certain senior individuals
and they're not looking
over
out
them,
over
and
them.
they're not.
Okay.
They're supposed to be responsible for them within their proximity. Hello, caller.
And the fact that the person videoed and then we see one player ran cross because he wants no part of it, he probably
Yeah.
think I can't help.
Yeah.
I small too because as I said, the aggressor is bigger. You see, as I said, he let the guys go and he still had to
Yeah.
send the last hit. The guy already is conceded to you. Like, relax
Most
yourself.
likely he's a bully. Most likely he's big, one of those big bullies. You know.
Yeah, you could see because he's taller than the other guy that run past. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. Maybe I would have gone and called the teacher or, as we say, the coach.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Allen T.
Yes. For me, I always say proper investigation should be done, and whoever start the fight, that person should be the one to be punished. And if complaints were made to people who could have do something but didn't do nothing about it, then they too should be punished as well. But I just don't believe in punishing every single person.
I believe
like that. Everybody
I
just like that.
believe in punishing everybody. Look, you heard about the Navy SEALs, right?
Yeah.
You've heard when they go through training, you need to do some research. If they go through training and you have one lazy person or one person who gets to the training late, they punish everybody. And you know what that does? The
Yeah,
rest
they're a
of them
team.
put pressure on their teammates to make sure when they get up in the morning, you better get up with them. When they go to
Yeah,
run,
but-
you better go to run with them, right? So
Yes, I understand that. But when one teammate is attacked by another, you have the responsibility to defend that teammate as well. I don't believe in punishing everybody like that. I believe in punishing the aggressor.
here's
and
the premise.
initiator.
But caller, if the aggressor thinks, oh, all I'm gonna get is sent home, but I'm gonna get a next chance. If the entire team gets sent home, now the entire team's gonna be upset because the entire team know they were working
For
hard.
the aggressor. Yes, for the aggressor.
Yeah, but we
not
don't
for the
want,
victim.
when it comes to, you see, discipline isn't just a physical thing. It's a psychological thing. It's a mental thing. You want it to be ingrained in them, in their psyche.
Yeah, and
So
there's no iron team, so
that's it.
everybody had to go.
So here is it. Even though I was the one who he squeezed and that kind of stuff, I know I'm going to feel like, boy, I shouldn't get punished, but it's going to make me try my best to avoid
But he squeezed it to
getting
death.
in these.
Exactly. That's
Yes,
the next
but-
thing people were saying too.
But as
Yes,
usual,
before he squeezed you to death.
Greg, we hear you, but as usual, you're going to go round and round. You're never going to relent. But we hear you, but in this instance and in certain instances, we feel, because this is on cricket level moving up to the cricket West Indies, and we know how heartbroken we are. Like, for instance, right now Australia is playing West Indies, and the last I heard, Australia had 2 and we had 0. This is heartbreaking for us. You understand? And when we see things like this, and we know how it leads up to this, we see, as Jamdown was saying, they're running down the track to bowl a ball, and you see the big chain rubbing from side to side, and you don't see that with these other players. The other players around, they have chains and so forth, but you're not seeing it so extravagant as with our black players.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but Quint, I always believe if your life or danger come into threat, you have a right to defend yourself.
I
To
agree.
protect your life and danger.
We're not disputing anything
Yes,
you're saying.
yes,
We agree. But what
yes.
we're saying, we want to send a clear message to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
The message that should be said, is that you should not initiate violence. That's the message that should be sent.
That's the message
you just
we're
want
going to
the one
send.
person punished, not the entire
Yeah,
team.
No, yeah, but if you also punish the victim, that is not good.
Well, you may
Anyway,
feel you may feel that way. Like I said, if I was the one who got squeezed off, I'm not going to feel good about it, but I'm going to think very seriously about getting myself in any. I mean, for instance, we don't even know what caused the altercation.
Yeah.
Suppose I'm the one who gets squeezed off, but I'm the one who started something.
That's what a proper investigation should be done. That's why
Yes.
I said proper investigation should be done to find who is the victim
But we
and who
still
is the
say,
initiator.
but we still maintain when you're moving on a level towards West Indies cricket, we want to send definitive messages to these
Yeah, 'cause
youngsters.
they're the next team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody
So-
says they don't have it to win any matches, but have the strength to fight.
That's it.
Somebody also said the danger of holding someone in a headlock need to be recognized. It could have been fatal. Anyone would be upset and attempt to defend themselves, being locked in that position.
And this is why the entire team should be punished.
Yeah.
Others should have been going there. Look, back
the
in
guy
our
just ran past. As they say, conflict resolution is needed.
back-
This is not acceptable
back
to be
in our
treating your
days,
teammate
back
like
in
that.
our back. Look, back when we were young, we weren't perfect, okay? But back in our days, you couldn't see these kind of fights happening, and someone
Didn't part.
didn't go and try to part
Yeah,
things.
no.
It didn't happen.
Nobody's parting, everybody's filming, everybody wants the hot tea to pass it around.
So let's take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be back.
Found the sound 99.9 FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Attention, syndicates and Nevis. The countdown is on and time is running out. This is your final call, your last chance to save big at Hostos Automotive during our VAT Off Drive On blog event. It's your final call, your last chance to get up to $15,000 in total savings. No down payment, free servicing for 12 months, free bill of sale, $1,000 in groceries, or 3 months of free gas, free registration, licensing, tinting, and accessories, and 4% VAT off on top of it all. Yes, you've heard right. Everything free and 4% VAT off. But listen closely. This incredible sale ends when June ends. No extensions, no do-overs. This is your final call, your last chance for the biggest auto sales saving for the year. So don't walk, run to Hostos Automotive now. Your dream car is waiting, and these deals are ready to roll. Hostos Automotive, where affordability meets the road. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Are you dreaming of a brighter future? The answer is right beneath your feet. Buying land is a wise investment. You can build a home, hold it as collateral, or pass it on to your children. And with CIBC Caribbean, buying land is a bold move you can make right now. CIBC Caribbean is giving you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com for more details. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and I'll do two last comments before we move on. Somebody
Well,
said-
before you go there, let me make this last point in terms of the cricket. There's another part that we miss. The fact that it happened here in St. Kitts, that's another thing that has to be investigated. Why is it that wherever they were, what about who was monitoring them, and the guardians or custodians or whatever you call people who are the elders who should be responsible for these children, because it does not look good for us here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis that it happened here, so that's another thing that we're going to have to look at to ensure this does not continue, or this is not a trend. Yeah.
So let me do the post before I rebuff that one. Somebody says, an ex-commenter says, why should you have to post these things to jeopardize these young men's future? Think twice before you post. Somebody goes on to say, they should have been replaced or sent home for the rest of the tour as a form of punishment to remind them there is zero tolerance for such behavior. And people need to realize not everything needs to be placed in the court of public opinion. There is an entire technical team and a board who handles this. Why ruin their careers even before it even takes off? Remember, these are digital footprints and won't be easily erased. The article should make FI come down much less because they are children. Not everything should make news.
You see, and this is the problem, because aren't they the ones who recorded this?
Well, they're teenagers. They're up to 19.
But aren't they the ones who recorded this?
And who decide, the person who recorded it is who probably released it.
Yeah, and they usually do this to places like TikTok or Instagram and so on and so forth. So you can't blame us. Here's another aspect to it. Because we are grown-ups, I'm going to use myself as an example. Let's say my son was one of them there, right? And I say, well, it's my son and I want to protect him and blah, blah, blah. What kind of a message am I sending?
That what he did is okay.
So I'm going to have to, and this is the problem, because we look at ours, it is our children, and we want to protect them, but we also want them to be responsible, right? So I'm not going to protect you when you clearly know right from wrong and you do this, and then I'm going to let you bear the consequences, right? Because it is better this way and then down the line, because as we said some time ago, it doesn't end there, For instance, it might be the younger one who got squeezed off might have an older brother who wants to retaliate. It might went to more fits. Who knows if we might end up with guns. We do not want this. Yeah. So we will step on it decisively. You understand?
Somebody said they are not the first to fight and definitely won't be the last.
Well, those are excuses.
And then they say 6 days talk and on to the next fight. Would you believe that?
But that is a good point, because we may talk for 6 days and then next thing maybe they're in Australia, and next thing we see a fight. That is what the person is making, the point.
We don't want that. We don't want that at all.
So hello, caller.
Yes, Gwen, you're so right. You hear? You gotta cut out this thing. It's not sounding nice in the Federation and for West Indies cricket. We don't want that in West Indies cricket.
Yeah.
Now I listen to an interview with Richards, the bull. And Richard was saying when he go around the West Indies camp. Salisbury's coach and management watching him bad like he come to take the job. Which of them passed that? He was West Indies captain for years, one with dominant players, and this is what's going on. Charlo got to resign.
This is what
The
is going
president
on.
got to resign because a lot of things going wrong with West Indies cricket. Now, Darren Sammy is supposed to have 4 farmers, the chief farmer at the West Indies cricket. Have a good morning, Catencio.
Yeah.
And listen to Richard and Clive Lloyd in the interview.
All right, will do.
Yeah. Look, we as a people have got to stop trying to make excuses. For instance, me, I am a black conscious person. I will defend blackness to the core. But if a black person does stupidness, like for instance
Call him out.
P. Diddy, I don't have any sympathy for P. Diddy, right? And someone wrote an article or made an expression and said the fact that P. Diddy got off on most of the serious counts is not a good thing for him. Yeah, and I agree, because sometimes people don't learn. Sometimes P. Diddy has been doing nonsense for years. And you want to tell me, so that my point is, not because he's a black person, you do stupidness,
You get
yeah,
deal with the repercussions.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but I really hope they get this matter resolved. I hope whatever happens swiftly, and these young gentlemen understand that it is about a team and not about I, and I being the bully because I'm the stronger of the two. Because he could have caused the gentleman more injuries, and who knows what injuries he could have caused.
yeah, yeah.
And he's already jeopardizing his future because you are the next cricket team. You are the senior team coming up. You're a teenager now, but you're not going to be a teenager forever. But you are the next generation.
And you
What are
see,
doing?
even after he was squeezing off the guy, when he released the headlock, you see the blows he pumped into the
that's what I said.
guy.
He still had to hit him, and he already, because he hit him a couple while he had him in the
Yeah.
headlock, and he still had to hit him again. So he's an arrogant person. And then when he's coming towards the person with the camera, now the person puts it on the camera like, okay, don't let me mess with him because he already see what he's doing. And then he's pulling the door like, and then he picks up he's an arrogant young man. And imagine him now doing better, apologizing to the Leeward Islands, apologizing to the team, whatever, and then he becomes a coach someday, and then somebody fights. What if that person say, "Oh, but look, you have squeezed out the boy"?
Example shown,
I
example
know,
followed.
and that's what the person rightfully say. I don't agree with it being on the internet, and that's the way that we knew about it, but they have to do better. We didn't have phones. We didn't post anything.
If it hadn't been if it hadn't been on the internet or recorded, we wouldn't.
We would
know.
not have known. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I wish, as you said, we're not gonna let anybody get away with anything. But we have to be mindful because everybody just wanna record and post. Be the
Look,
first one with the story.
People might hear me and people might say, "Oh, Quint is harsh," but I've always said, and I always repeat, when I was young, I was a juvenile delinquent, and I say it because I want young men out there to hear it and
do
to
better.
understand that look at where I was and look at where I am. You can make changes. We're not saying that you cannot make changes. What we're saying, you got to be hard on yourself. I had to make hard decisions. When I became a parent, I had to make hard decisions because my oldest son was heading down the same road. And I had to take measures. I remember he did something one time, and I used to tell him, look, depending on what you do, I'm not going to come there to defend you. And he did something, and he wound up on the bench, and I didn't go to defend him. You understand? And here's something. The person who he did whatever he did to came to me making noise with me that, oh, your son there, and you ain't go to defend your son. And I looked him in the eye and I said, look, well, if you love him so much, go and bail him out. It might sound hard, but that oldest son is today working, not in trouble, not in prison. I mean, he's kind of like me, headstrong, he will, look, let me be clear. If I get on my son's nerve, he will give me 2 bad words. It's not, and we get along otherwise, but that's how we are. You understand? So being a parent isn't an easy thing. You have to make hard decisions. You think when he was on the bench I didn't feel bad? He's my child. He's my oldest. But I had 2 other sons. if I let him go a certain way, those two other sons would follow. So I had to be extra hard on him. Because let me tell you, the younger son will quicker follow their older brother than me.
That's true.
You heard what I said? The younger siblings will quicker follow the older brother than the parent. You could talk till you bust. So if you don't find ways to get that older child in line, you're in for disaster because the others are going to follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is no easy thing. This is why I say, well, back to the discussion we had yesterday, where America is a superpower and America has this and America that. Yeah, we know that, but that doesn't mean America should go trampling on everybody and we don't resist. You understand? I'm one of those who's going to resist, and if I die trying to resist, well, but that is the way it is. Yeah, let's take a bit of a break, and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Everything you want, everything
When we
you
come
need,
back, we
and
have
the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. And I lime it at the beach on the town. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, love the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
St. Kitts and Nevis, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
St. Kitts, are you ready to invest with UTC GBFL?
Wait, UTC GBFL? What is that all about?
It's the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited, your passport to investing in global markets, stocks, bonds, and opportunities worldwide, all within your reach.
So I can really start investing money?
Yes, and the best part, you can start with just 100 US or EC equivalent. Investing isn't just for the big players, it's for you. Whether you are seeking the potential to build wealth, secure your future, or chase your dreams, now is the time. Do it for you. Now, visit utcgbfl.com to get started today. UTC GBFL. Invest for tomorrow. Do it for you. An investor should consider a fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses before investing with the full knowledge that an investor may not get back the amount invested. The price of the units may increase or decrease, or that there may be circumstances where redemption of units may be suspended. This and other important information can be found in the fund's prospectus, which is available on our website, www.utcgbfl.com. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission has not in any way evaluated the merits of the securities offered.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? Look at West Indies cricket is all our legacy. Is our energy when we come down there?